Hi, I'm Joshua Banks Mailman. For the final project for the Metis Data Science bootcamp, I chose to make a web app that could exploit the possibilities of machine learning, specifically neural nets and word embeddings, to classify and then caption an image in an amusing way. For instance, here's a sample output from my streamlit app. So in this case, it's somewhat amusing because there is someone in the picture who's close to someone with a guitar. And so the idiom, close but no cigar, comes to mind and then creates a bit of amusement on that basis. The inspiration was primarily to exploit these interactions between image and text. And specifically, the humorous meaning that emerges from the associations brought about by the juxtaposition of image and text. So for example, the New Yorker caption contest was one of the inspirations for this, because in this case, people compete to make captions that go with an image that's already provided. Another aspect of this was some titles by the composer Milton Babbitt, who would create puns by making reference to things in his titles of his compositions that were in the pieces of music. For example, a piece based on 12 tones, a piece based on a series, and another piece based on 6 tones. And also, Rene Magritte, the painter, his titles of his paintings often bring about a new meaning by the interaction of the title of the painting and what's in the painting. So this interaction between content and title was something that I thought that machine learning could be interesting as an application for. In this case, the painter is imagining what the egg will become. Another one is the Cockney rhyming slang, where you have an indirect reference, Army and Navy, gravy, so gravy will, Army and Navy will relate to that, and so forth, where there's what I would call a reference to something not present or thinking around the corner. Some of the outputs are kind of cute. Let the genie out of the beetle. In this case, we think of let the genie out of the bottle, and it's kind of funny to imagine that the beetle is has something secret, some special power or something like that sort. And other times irony is at work. Shoot yourself in the foot. Perhaps the somebody here, either him or her, is doing something they may regret. And the image generated by this by my app, by the algorithm, it brings that about. And we, as people viewing it, bring together our knowledge of these known idioms and what we see in the picture and draw our own conclusions. The real Shangri-La, or the bee's knees of this, would be to generate captions that refer to something not actually in the image, so that we are, as viewers, bringing to mind something that we know about what's in the image, but that isn't actually in the image. And through this process, a kind of humorous meaning emerges. So in this case, of course, preaching to the choir is the idiom that might come to mind. And if we know about that idiom and we know that owls make a screeching sound, then we are somehow entertained by this. The algorithm and also the component algorithms are worth explaining. So here goes. First, from the 1,000 images in IMAGENET, choose any image. And then the Xception neural network categorizes this as an owl. Then NTLK synset, TF-IDF correlation matrix based on the SentiWordNet corpus, which I computed, and the Gensim Word2Vec using the Google News and Text8 corpuses. These together do what is really the most nuanced aspect of this, which is to find words that are in the same semantic family as the identified label. So in this case, the owl. In other words, it may find synonyms as well as things that are not synonyms but that are associated with owls. That generates these words here. The next thing is that some phonetics algorithms identify words that are related phonetically to these words. So, for example, bump, lump, stump, stem all relate to stump, and so forth. The next part in the process is 1,500 English idioms from ESL. From these are checked for having the words that are in the phonetic family. So any idioms that have any of those words are identified. They're put in a list. In fact, to make it more efficient, I pre-computed this as a dictionary lookup so that it doesn't happen during the running of the app. And in the case where the app is running in its more nuanced form, actually the words related directly to synonyms or to owl itself, the actual label, those are actually blocked out. Those are ignored. And the next thing that happens is that a suitability score is computed for all of these matches. And that score combines the semantic connection as well as the phonetic connection. And then these are sorted, and the best score is eventually found. And from that, we get preaching to the choir, okay, which relates to screeching of an owl. So therefore, that is taken as the basis for the caption, and then we get screeching replacing preaching, and there we have our image. So this is the way the algorithm works. It involves several component algorithms. Some of these are, again, kind of cute or amusing. The peel McCoy, you have to bring to mind the real McCoy, and you know that an apple is something that you peel, and so therefore we're perhaps amused by that. In other cases, it's a little bit more obscure, but it's maybe even more entertaining in that case. This caption is based on the idiom, it's all talk and no trousers, which means something like, you talk the talk, but can you walk the walk? Or there's a lot of talking, but not much doing, and so forth. And in this case, it's amusing because here we find a lot of signs relating to washing and cleaning. Do not do this, do not do that. But we don't actually see the washing going on, or any trousers for that matter. And in some cases, I actually was almost fooled by thinking that the algorithm has a sense of humor of its own, perhaps some understanding about invertebrates as opposed to vertebrates. So, jellyfish not having bones. Thanks for watching.